We are very happy to have Ivan joining us today from the sales operation team. So today webinar will be about how you can go about the step-by-step guide on getting your account registered to start selling into the Amazon US store. Well, without any further delay, I'm going to pass on my time to Ivan to walk us through the guide today. Thank you, Ivan. All the time for you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As Julian said, I'm going to go through some slides. We are going to keep some time at the end of the webinar for some Q&As that you might have. So do put your questions in the question box, and we're going to answer them either live while I'm going through or at the end of the session through the Q&A. Right, so this is just a legal notice. Do keep confidential the information that is shared here. So if you want to take screenshots, that is fine, but do not distribute these screenshots. They will be recorded, so part of the webinars will be shared later on, either or uploaded through different channels for you to rewatch the materials if you did not catch everything that we said during the session. These are some live webinar calendar, so do check them, right? There's both the Amazon live webinar. You're going to see a whole YouTube library on the different topics that we have. And you can also check the Amazon Seller University in Seller Central, which is a very useful guide on any of your problems. It's a one-stop shop that you should check if you haven't checked it right away. All right, so let's start off with the professional plan, and I want to kick it off with the fee promotion that we have, right? So you probably are already aware that we are running what we call $1 fee waiver program. So prior to this fee waiver, registering an account was $39.99 a month. With the fee waiver that we're running until September 30th, 2024, it will only just be $1 for the first month and $0 for the next 5 months, right? So the professional plan benefits, as you can see on the right-hand side, are massive, right? So you can have essentially access to Product Opportunity Explorer, which is probably a top-notch tool that we put out there for all the professional sellers to know what is selling on Amazon.com, what are the trends down to specific ASIN level. Of course, then you're going to be able to advertise on Amazon.com and use many other tools like the branded tools, A+ content, etc. So the content of the slides we're going to go through today is as shown here, right? So we're going to give you a bit of an overview of how to register your account and the different steps that you have to take, including SIV, IPV, and the OTP, right? Which might be a bit hard to understand for all of you. One of the things that we did last time and we got really good feedback was a bit of a workshop at the end of the live webinar in order to demonstrate live what to do in some of the most relevant issues that our sellers are facing, right? So we're going to go through how to upload your tax interview and your bank deposit, what to do if you have failed SIV and document resubmission, and if you have a credit card issue, on how to see it and what are the topics or the top 10 issues to why the credit card validation fails. Right, so starting off on Amazon, we have two accounts just for full transparency. We have the individual, which is $0.99 per item sold, or you have the monthly professional plan, which is $39.99 per month, regardless of how many units you sell on Amazon. Of course, with the fee promotion that I was talking before, instead of $39.99, we can strike this through and just pay $1. So it makes no sense right now during the fee promotion to even choose the individual plan, but rather go on the professional plan. account. I want to re-emphasize the importance of the professional account. So part of some of the topics that or tools that I said that are available only for professional users. Professional users will have 3 months of dedicated account management, right? A real person, an account manager who can guide you through your problems that you have from when you launch up until the first 90 days after you launch, right? The reason why we put it to 90 days is that we have seen that it is really critical to start your launch store fast after the 90 days in order to ramp up quickly and being able to list your products with our more established sellers that are already on our platform. So that's why we put account managers at your disposal for you to ask any questions, have sessions with them, and understand better the whole landscape of Amazon.com. This is an overview of the registration process, and of course we're going to go into details in the next slides, but just so you can get a bit of a gist of what it is, right? So first of all, you're going to have to like key in some of your particulars in the registration form, which I'm going to show next. Once you've keyed in your particulars, you will have to go through what we call seller identity verification, where you're going to have to upload some of your documents like an identity document, either be it a passport, driver's license, or national ID, and also a bank account statement in order to prove the address that you had keyed in the registration form. Once that is done, you are going to have to do what we call an in-person verification. This is essentially an automated way we have to take a picture of the person who is registering, right, in order to view that the person who is behind the computer doing the registration is the same as the one who has submitted the identity document. Right, again, I'm going to go through the different tools that we have to do that. Then some, but not all, depending on a randomized approach, might be triggered what we call the OTP or the one-time password postcard. This is a physical postcard that is being sent to your address that you have registered. And again, it's for us to check that the address is legitimate and not fake. So if you get triggered for an OTP, you will see it and you will receive also a timeline of when we plan to send the OTP to your address. And once you receive it, you're going to have a 6-digit password that you're going to have to key in the registration form. Once that happens, of course, you're going to have access to Seller Central and all the tools. And there's where part of the workshop that I'm going to be doing today at the end of the webinar is going to be useful, because there's a couple of things that you have to do once you have access to Seller Central, such as tax information and or the tax questionnaire and the updating of the deposit method or the bank deposit method, which is where we're going to be paying you your proceeds from your Amazon sales. All right, so kicking it off on registering your Amazon selling account. This is the first couple of pages that you have once you go on sell.amazon.com and register as a seller. The first piece of information that we will ask, of course, is your business information, right? So where are you located? Where is your business located? We usually take care of what we call Southeast Asian sellers. So we take care of sellers that are from Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, and Philippines, right? So do key in the business location that is adequate for your business. Then we're going to ask for your business type, right? The business type can be either a privately owned business, a charity, or a publicly owned, or even if you don't have a business and you're just setting up as an individual, right? So you do not have to have a business to start selling on Amazon. You can just set up as an individual. Just click in the business type that better suits what you are planning to use to start selling on Amazon. Then, of course, if you do select that you have an incorporated business, we are going to ask for your business name. Please make sure that the business name is exactly the same as the one that you have used to file with your local authorities. For example, for Singapore, it would be the one that you have used for Accra, right? Then, of course, the next one, we're going to ask who is the main owner of the business, right? So the first name, middle name, and last name. Going on to the seller information. So this is the person who is doing the registration, either being it the individual or somebody that is doing it on behalf of the business, right? So we are going to be needing again, the middle name, the first name, middle name, and last name, right? The country of citizenship and your country of birth. And then you have to key in the residential address here on the right. So the residential address, please make sure that it's somewhere that we can send the postcard if you get triggered for the postcard OTP, right? So do make sure of that. And then we're also going to be needing your mobile phone for a quick verification where you're going to receive a PIN code in order to prove that the phone that you're using is one that is reachable for important information. Third part that we're doing is what we call the billing, right? So what I was telling before is you might see that it's $39.99. Right now, it's not going to be $39.99, but it's still $1, but we still need your credit card. So you're going to be needing to issue either a Visa, MasterCard, or American Express credit or debit card, right? Credit and debit are also accepted. And we're going to need your particulars. Below, you're going to see the billing address, right? This billing address is going to be by default populated by the residential address that you keyed in the previous steps. Now, we are aware that some sellers or potential sellers do not have the same billing address as the one that they use for their residential address, and that is completely fine. If it does differ, you're just going to need to click on add a new address and key in the billing address of your credit or debit card. And I'm going to put a bit of emphasis here because this is one of the main reasons why our sellers get rejected further on once they have access to Seller Central and have credit card issues. The billing address needs to be exactly the same as the one that you have filed with your credit or debit card, because Amazon will check, right? And if it doesn't match exactly, you will not be able to start your selling journey. Last step of the registration form is where we're going to be asking about your store name, right? What do you want to name your store? And a lot of people might not have a definitive store name when they're doing the registration. And again, that is completely fine. You might just want to put a dummy store name, and then this can be changed later on once you have access to Seller Central. Then we have a couple of questions in terms of what are the products or the nature of products that you're trying to sell on Amazon, right? And whether you do have UPC codes or you don't have UPC codes. If you're still in product research stage or sourcing your products and you don't know if they have the UPC codes, you can just click on no and follow the questions along. Right? If you ever do have some issues during the registration process, you will find that at the bottom left of the screen, you have a Get Support button. Right, the Get Support button, you're going to be able to contact one of our seller support associates and pose any questions that you might have for the registration process, and they will be reaching out to you. So once you finish the registration form and particulars, you're going to be directed to what we call the seller identity verification. This is where we're going to be asking two pieces of, or two documents. The first one is your identity proof, and that will be an identity document. It can be like an ID, a passport, or a driver's license, right? We're also going to be asking for either a bank, credit card, or online bank, like a Payoneer statement issued within the past 180 days. We do inform you of the different specifications that the documents need to have during the registration process, but in case you haven't seen them or you want me to just reiterate them, here are the 7 criteria that they must fulfill. Of course, for me, the most important one is that they are high quality, high definition, colored and obstructed. The passport has the bearer's signature, and I'm going to deep dive in that into the next couple of slides. And the documents are in one of the following supported languages. All right, please also make sure that if you do submit your bank and credit card statement, they are issued within the past 180 days. And of course, the documents that you submit cannot be expired. This is how the interface looks, right? Here's where you're going to have two buttons to upload either your driving license or your passport. And below, you're also going to have a proof of address, which is what I was talking about. That can be either a bank account or a credit card statement. Again, best practice, and I cannot reiterate this as much because this is one of the main issues why they are some sellers are rejected, is please make sure that all the documents that you upload are high quality, colored, unobstructed. And of course, if you do submit your passport, please make sure that it has the signature. And here I'm going to take a big pause, right? Just because I want everyone to look at this slide very clearly, because this is probably one of the most important slides that I am going to share, and it's 90% of the time of the reasons to why our sellers fail SIV. The reason being it is because they do not submit the signature page. And specifically for Singapore passports, if you are from Singapore, the signature is on a separate page than where you have all your particulars. It's at the first page. That means that you are going to have to upload both pictures. So the picture of the first page and the picture of the second page where you have all your particulars. Again, if you do not submit your signature page, you will be rejected SIV, and you will have to resubmit your documents before you proceed. For Cambodia and Malaysia, the signature is within the same 2 pages of your particulars, so there is no issues with that. For Philippines as well, the signature is on the same page. For Indonesia, we have the same issue as in Singapore. The signature is on the first page. So again, and I'm going to repeat this many times during the webinar, you will have to submit both pages. Right, and this is where you can upload the bank statements, again referring back to the user interface. So you will go again to the upload the document, and you will upload the PDF of your bank statement. Right, so what will happen if you are rejected? If you are rejected for SIV, you will receive a notice like the ones on the top right, right, or the ones on the middle right. If you are SIV appeal rejected, that is when we will need you to resubmit some documents, right? Most likely we'll have to do something with the signature that you haven't submitted the signature, and therefore we're going to need to re-upload the passport with the signature. For SIV failed, sometimes you will see that you're straight away failed. That is because we have most likely seen that you have either multiple accounts as a seller. One seller should have only one account unless there is a legitimate reasons to have multiple accounts, like different brands under your name, etc. Right? So if you do have a legitimate reason and you have failed SIV, please take note of this email that you have, and you can email in your issue from the registered email, and our associates will take care. Right, so I'm going to be pausing here for a while so you can take note of the email. All right. Going on to the next slide. IPV, in-person verification. So there are 2 options for you to choose for in-person verifications or identity verification. One of them, of course, is the one that we promote the most, because it's also a faster way of verification, is to take a photo of your face. This will ask you to first take a photo of the government issued ID that you have submitted, right? So you're going to have to use a device that of course has access to a webcam. You're going to put in front of the webcam your document, and then you're going to have to also take photos of your face. And what this tool is going to do is essentially check that the person in the document is the same as the person who took the pictures. And this is to verify that the person behind the screen or the computer is the same one as the one who has keyed in the particulars. Second option is very similar, but instead of photos, we are going to be taking a video of you, right? So it's essentially the same nature. Both the physical and both the document will be in the recorded video, and also the face of the potential new seller. This is how it looks. If you selected option 1, the instant entry verification, there is just a bit of a disclaimer that you're going to have to click. Right, and once you click on next, essentially you're going to be prompted onto a new interface, which is done directly on the device that you're using to register the account. And you're going to start key in the ID that you have used. As you can see here, you're going to see a guided approach on how to submit your passport into the webcam. So that's where you're going to submit your face on the left-hand side, and also your passport particulars. It's going to inform you when it's done, right? So you might need to click the take photo button. Then once you're done with your identity document, you're going to be prompted over to the taking the photo of your face. So you're going to take a photo of your face. They're going to be asked to look on your left and look on your right. And then once you are done, it will tell you with a green tick that you have completed the verification process, and that we will take around 2 business days in order to review the photos that you have submitted, make sure that the photos match the identity document, and once you have passed SIV, we will inform you through email that you are able to start your selling journey. Right, these are just a couple of things that you should prepare during the in-person verification or the IPV, right? So just make sure that the device, of course, has a webcam and that you have your document ready to show it over to on the screen. Okay. Now going over to the Amazon postcard address verification. This is not going to be triggered to everyone. It's a randomized algorithm. If you are triggered, this is what you're going to be seeing on the user interface. You're going to be seeing a bit of a timeline of what Amazon is doing in terms of your OTPs, right? So we're going to tell you when we're preparing the OTP, when it's dispatched, when it's in transit, and when it's being delivered. Again, when it's delivered, you're going to open the postcard that you received and then key in the 6-digit verification code on the bottom. You have essentially 3 attempts. If you have exhausted all the 3 attempts and you still need support, please do click on the bottom left-hand side where you can see the Get Support button, and our associates are going to be ready to assist you. Amazon post seller verification. All right, so once you have access to Seller Central, you're going to be able to access all the different tools, but you're still going to have to submit a couple of pieces of information. First of all is going to be your deposit method. This is a bank account where you would like to receive the money of the sales that you're generating on Amazon. Second one is going to be your tax identity information, and this is just merely for Amazon to know if you are a US resident or not. And the reason why Amazon needs to know this is because, like, if you are a US resident, Amazon was going to have to withhold some of the tax for you. But of course, I think 99.9% of the cases in this call are not US residents. Right, so you are just going to have to click I am not a US resident, which I'm going to go through the workshop after, and then you're not going to be liable to pay any taxes in the US. Okay, right, this is essentially how the deposit method user interface works. Once you click on it, you're going to have to choose the marketplace that you are going to be selling on. Again, for 99% of the cases, it's going to be Amazon.com. So as soon as you press the assign, you're going to be prompted to input the bank location, the account holders' names, the routing number, bank account number, and then retyping the bank account number. For the tax information, as I was mentioning before, this is simply a bit of a red tape procedure that we have to do in order to know if you are a US resident. I'll go through a bit more details once I run through the workshop for you all to see how it is during a live session. So Amazon Seller Performance Review, also known as SPR. In some cases, right, after you have access to Seller Central, if you take a lot of time before launching your actual first product, right, and you're not really active on Seller Central, you might be triggered an account deactivation, right? So account deactivation is simply means that we haven't seen a lot of activity on the account. So Amazon has just deactivated the account temporarily, but it is actually really easy to get it activated again. The things that you will have to provide is a utility bill just to prove that the address that you have provided in Amazon Seller Central is the same as the one that you have on the utility bill, just to know that the address is correct, and that is how Amazon determines that the account can be reinstated or reactivated. Of course, just make sure that the document submittal follows, again, the same protocol as any document you submit on Amazon. In this case, the only different thing is that the utility bill needs to be issued within the past 3 months. Again, some of you might say like, hey, I have a utility bill, but it's not under my name, or it's not under my name because I'm under a tenant agreement, and that is completely fine, right? So if you want to take a screenshot of the different relationships or verification of relationships that we do accept, just do a screenshot now, right? So just to give a bit of a update, if your utility bill is under your spouse's name, so a marriage certificate is fine. If it's under your corporation's name, again, a business license, that would suffice. Right. We do have something called performance notifications in Amazon Seller Central. This is where Amazon sends you all the important notifications regarding your Amazon account. The deactivation of an account, of course, will also be under these performance notifications. Look at it at your just the same as your Instagram or your Facebook or your LinkedIn notifications, right? Those notifications that are important will usually be, there's going to be a little red dot, right, on your screen once you access one of these social apps. This is essentially the same, but for Seller Central, where the important notifications are going to be prompted in this section of Seller Central for you to like quickly have a glance of what are the important topics that need to be reviewed. Right, and this is just an example of the performance notification for deactivation, and we tell you exactly how to submit and what documents to submit. This is just a bit more in detail of the different utility bills that we accept: electricity, water, gas, telco, and again, we issued within the past 90 days. Okay. What else? This is just another example of the performance notification. In some cases, after you submit the utility bill, you might have to jump on a call with one of our associates because we might have detected some discrepancies in the utility bill that you have submitted. Again, these are very corner cases, but in case you do submit this, you're going to see that we also send you a link to book an appointment with one of our associates, and we will be reviewing your account. Okay, so fun starts now, right? So let me just pause my screen for a second while I bring up my testing account, and I'm going to start showing live how to submit your tax interview and deposit method. Cool, right? So this is what you're going to see as soon as you have finished all your registration process, right? So this is the Seller Central website, and you're going to see your landing page, which is your dashboard, right? You're going to see that there's essentially two actions that you need to take, which are big red so you can see them. As I was saying, one is the deposit method and the other one is your tax information. Right, so we're going to go through the tax information right now, just so that you can see how to submit your tax information. Right, so you click on it, and then the tax questionnaire is going to pop up. And while it pops up, I again want to re-emphasize that this is no local tax. We're not going to be sharing this with any local tax. It's just a matter of Amazon collecting information if you are a US resident, right? And it states it here very, very clearly, right? So we're just going to be asking if you're a business or if you're an individual, and then again, if you are a US resident. In this case, I'm going to click no. And then the type of business that you are. You have many different types of businesses. In this case, I'm going to choose any kind of private business. Would be a corporation. I would put the name of the organization, so organization 123. This is an optional if your organization has many different names or a secondary name. The country of your organization, so in this case, I just put Philippines, and your permanent address, depending on where the business is set. Right, so once you have completed this, it's as simple as pressing save and preview. And once you have completed save and preview, we're going to be issuing what we call the W8BEN statement. This is just a statement to make sure that you are not held any taxes in the US, right? So again, just showing that you are exempted from paying taxes in the US. You're going to be clicking I certify that the above form is correct, and then you're going to have to like type your signature, full name, and of course choose the date. Right, so in this case, it's the 2nd of July. And once you have done that, you can submit the form. It's going to think for a bit, and you see, it essentially tells you that the applicable withholding rate is 0%, right? It's as simple as that. It literally will take you guys 1 to 2 minutes to do it. Very fast, very easy, and it's nothing scary. Now, some of you may ask, what should I do if this changes in the future? That is completely fine, right? So if you in the future change your organization, or you change the name or the location, that is completely fine. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be going up to the, let me go back to the dashboard. This is the dashboard that you guys can see. You're going to go up to the account info. Once you click on account info, you're going to see here on the left-hand side that there is tax information. And when you click on the tax information, you're going to be prompted to this other menu. You're going to click again tax information, and then you can resubmit your documents. Okay, it's as easy as that, and this starts all over again. Okay, quite easy, right? Okay, now my second illustration or workshop that I wanted to show you guys is how to fill up the deposit method. So let me go back to the dashboard. You will see that one of the, of course, once you have completed the tax information, this red box will disappear. It doesn't disappear here because this is a testing account for testing purposes, right, that I use. So it just doesn't register the information that I have just provided, right? It's just for illustration purposes. If you have completed your tax and you still see a red thing for your deposit method, again, you're going to click on the deposit method, and this is going to bring you to the page on where to update or choose your marketplace that you want to update your deposit method. You're going to click on Amazon.com on the assign button. As soon as you click onto the assign button, you're going to be prompted a security check, of course, So now I've been sent an OTP. Let me just check my email 1 second. I'm going to pause here the screen while I check my email. Let me just check that I have received the email. I'm showing, all right, so this is the email that you will receive. You will click on approve or deny. Of course, I will approve because that is me. Once you click on approve, you will be brought over to the deposit methods. This is a deposit method I had added in the past, again, for another workshop that I had done. But if you don't have any deposit method, this would just be blank, and you would just click on add a new deposit method. And then it's going to tell you the name, 9-digit routing number, and bank account number. I'm just going to use some dummy numbers here. Of course, this will not work if you guys try these numbers, because again, this is a testing account. You're going to fill in here all your numbers, bank account, and once you have filled up everything, you're just going to put on set deposit method. It's going to think for a while, right? And once you have essentially done your deposit method, if it's with a virtual bank, this is going to be nearly instant. If it's with a physical bank, this might take up to 2 days for our team to check that the account that you have provided is like legitimate. Okay. Then again, this is because I just went back and it asked for me to like reapprove. But essentially, that's it. That is easy again for you to check how to update the bank account. All right, so let me again bring back the slides, right? Go back to presentation mode. We've gone through the tax interview and deposit method. I hope this was useful for all of you. Now going on to the third workshop that I just wanted to go through with you all, right? So in case you have failed SIV and you need to resubmit your documents, I can guarantee you 90 to 95% of the cases is because you haven't submitted your document with your signature, right? So you will receive an email from our SIV team. They will say that, hey, we need more information. Please log back onto Seller Central and see what you have to resubmit. So once you log on to Seller Central, you will be directed to the screen that you see on the left-hand side, right? You will check the particulars that you have submitted. Please double check them, make sure that everything is correct. And under the passport document that you have submitted, you're going to press on change, right? And then upload both of the pictures of the signature and of the details. And once you have completed the uploading again, you can just press on next. And again, it's going to take 1 to 2 days for associates to check again the documents that you have resubmitted. Okay. All right, last workshop that I'm going to be doing is about the credit card validation. I was emphasizing a lot during the registration form before that the billing information or the billing address needs to be exactly the same as the ones that is with your bank, right? So if it is not, you will receive an issue with your account. In order to rectify that issue, you will again go on to the account info settings. You will then click on the payment information, where you can see here that there is a little red dot indicating that there's an issue. You would then click on charge methods, right? And you will go onto a page where it states that we are unable to charge your credit card. Right, so once you click on this, right, what you're gonna have to do is either submit or replace, right? Replace your credit card, and you're gonna have to key in the particulars again. But I know it's in big red, but I can't re-emphasize this enough. please check your billing address once you replace the method. You can replace it with the same credit card, but just make sure that the billing address is exactly correct. What I recommended to all of the sellers that had issues is just get a credit card statement that you have had in the past like 30 days. Check on the top right where you have your address and literally key in letter by letter, comma by comma, and exactly everything that is on the statement. And you should be fine. Okay, this is again for the people who maybe dropped off, came up now and not sure what I talked about over the past 5 minutes. Do scan the QR code or take note of the link below. This is the previous workshop that I did, right? Again, going through the SIV failed and submission and credit card validation so that you know how to address these issues in the future for your accounts.
Yeah. I'm going to share some resources that we have from Seller University. Right, so as most of you here are either very new seller or you're trying to actually get your account started up. Right, so these are all the quick one-pager guide we have regarding introduction to Amazon Global Selling, and then to the different North America store, and also very importantly for new sellers, what are the new seller incentives that you get to enjoy when you first started selling on Amazon. So this is our July webinars that is coming up this month, right? So this is the first one that you're attending, and of course we have other topics that for those of you who are interested, you might be able to scan the QR code and join the other sessions. All right, now I'm going to the live Q&A part. There's actually quite a few questions today. We'll address it as we go along now with Ivan with us.